Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has all of my YouTube pages down there. Has my social media down there as well. Link to my iTunes blog talk. Please get down there. Subscribe to all those pages. Subscribe to all of my YouTubes. Turn on your notifications. Please follow me across all of my social medias as well. I love interacting with people and going back and forth. So please get down there and get involved with all those links any way that you can. And I want to thank everyone that does. You folks are greatly appreciated. So with that put to the side, I want to talk to you folks today about Adam Gase admitting that he failed Sam Darnold. Had a lot of people hit me up in my DMs immediately saying, "Hey Joe, what are your thoughts about this, man? Gase has come out and he said these things. How do you feel? You talked about Gase in the past. You didn't like the hire initially." And I just kind of looked and said, "Hey, kind of is what it is." I mean, he came out and said what he needs to say. And I know that Darnold came out and kind of, I wouldn't say walked it back, but just took more credit for certain things than he should have. Kind of fell on the sword himself. Said, "Hey, I want to take responsibility for my play," which is admirable. It's understandable. But when you look at the situation, hiring Adam Gase, we failed Sam Darnold the day we hired Adam Gase, off the bat. Him coming in here was a complete mistake. It was one of the worst decisions we made in franchise history, and that's where it started. Honestly, we failed our entire rebuild, from that point on by bringing him in here. Because bringing in Adam Gase, bringing in a coach that has such an issue with relating to players, with dealing with players, and also developing talent or understanding how to utilize talent, those are all things that are incredibly important within a rebuild. So he can't do any of those things. He doesn't even really understand how to coach, period. His offensive game plans are horrific. So what exactly were, what exactly were we thinking is the big question there. I look at this situation, again, with him coming out talking about how he failed Darnold. Clearly, I think he's starting to, come to the realization that the ride is almost over, and your ass is going to be gone. He should be one of the first names said, on Black Monday after the season's over. He should be one of the first names that are written about being gone and being fired here. But you look at the situation, he was brought in to help Darnold and never did that. He never allowed Darnold a real QB coach. He had Daryl Loggins working with him. That was a big mistake, especially when, we all talked about Sam's, kind of footwork and mechanics breaking down. I watched him at SC. People would talk about his footwork and the way that he could throw the ball even if his feet weren't set. That was something that, we saw because, hell, even at SC, his line was not that great. Like, things would break down and he would have to make a play or get hit. You know what I'm saying? There were major issues, but that also, kind of came to a cost here and there because, again, as you move up and you get into the NFL, you got to have your mechanics on. And even though he can still make plays, you don't want your quarterback, going forward with that. So he never allowed him a real QB coach. I always thought that the offense that Adam Gase ran, or whatever it is that he runs, was not going to fit Sam Darnold. I knew that immediately off the bat. It's a very static offense. There's next to no motions, which means there's next to no confusion. And the second thing, it was like when you have a offense that is as archaic and stagnant as Adam Gase's offense is, if you don't allow your QB to audible, which he doesn't allow Sam to audible, dude, these players know exactly where it's going and what you're doing. And that was another thing. His play calling was extremely predictable. All of those things combined, it's just boom. It's combustible. It's going to be a reaction. Things are going to blow up. And this is what has led to our offense being 32nd in the league. Last year, and we'll probably be at the bottom of the league this year as well. Because you know exactly what he's lining up in. Sam can't change it. The personnel packages, often we saw it in the past, especially the first year. We were like, what the hell are you doing out there? This was just a bad idea from the very beginning. From the very beginning, it was a bad idea, and there were way better options out there. So when I went back and forth with people, in my DMs, and I talked to people on my timeline, I just said, listen, kind of is what it is. The Jets making a Jet mistake, very Jet-like. But the thing I think that we have all learned from this, and hopefully what the franchises learn from this, is with the next guy that we go with, once we fire Adam Gase, we've got to make sure that we get the right guy in here. We got to make sure that we get a guy in here that is a leader, that understands how to deal with players, and understands the current state of the NFL, particularly offensively. okay? Because if you don't have an offense that can put up points in today's NFL, you're done. Like, it's over, okay? It's over. If you don't have a guy that understands how to call plays, how to dial things up, if you don't have a guy that understands situational football, a guy that just can run a damn, 2-minute offense, Gase can barely do that. We are finished, okay? So we've got to make sure that we get the right guy, whether we stick with Sam or whether we move on and get, I know a lot of people talk about Trevor Lawrence and all these things. We got to have the right guy in here to come in and groom and push forward with a young quarterback, whether it be Sam or whoever else that we draft, So I guess that's a silver lining out of all these. We get a chance to, search for the next guy to move us forward as a franchise. Because let me tell you something, Adam Gase was never going to be that guy. He never was. And our ownership, I'm hoping that they stay out of this. I'm hoping that they completely stay out of this and allow Joe Douglas to pick the guy to come in, because that's his job, and we need to change the structure of this franchise as well. Our coach should report to our GM, and our GM should report to our owners. Should not be on equal footing. No, they shouldn't both be reporting to the owners. Please just let Joe Douglas do his thing. You hired a football guy. Let him make football decisions. Point blank, period. So please comment down below, folks. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about Adam Gase, coming out and I guess publicly admitting that he failed Sam Darnold? How do you think the Jets should move forward? Who are some of the guys that you would look at as, the offseason comes? I'll continue to talk about, coaching candidates that we'll have and guys that, I think would be able to fit here. There's, names flying around now from DeBow to, some people want Roman. I've talked about Bieniemy before. Some people even want Campbell. Some people want, other folks that are, currently in college right now. I know Harbaugh's name was out there as well. Some people were talking about him. I know some fans don't want to have nothing to do with him. But, comment down below and let me know what you folks think. Who's a head coaching candidate that you would think, could kind of fit what we're doing here and, kind of help the Jets move along and go forward. Because let me tell you something. Adam Gase, this was a bad hire, and this was pretty much a waste of, a waste of 2 years. Just pretty much a waste of 2 years. And this was a bad idea from beginning to end. So, again, folks, please comment down below. I want to thank you folks for watching. You folks have a good one. Peace.